Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my festive girlfriend, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is December 20th, 1996.
Yay.
Edging ever 5 days till Christmas, Carol.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I've purchased all my presents that I'm giving away. I've got my Christmas pajamas ready to go.
Do you think that you're going to get a lump of coal in your stocking, or do you think you've been a good boy?
Oh, I've been kind of a bad boy this year, Carol.
Gonna get that coal.
What do you guys think? Have I been a good boy this year? Do I deserve all the presents?
You deserve everything.
Wow. Okay. Well, you heard it, people. How about a Christmas present for us?
What would that be?
Well, they can go to that site that my buddy built, patreon.com/retro late fee. We're the only ones on there.
Yeah.
Because it's 1996.
Right, brand new.
And you can tip us, essentially. You can give us some money. You can donate some money to the show.
It's like we're walking around with our hat out after doing a performance or something.
It's a time for charity.
Right.
It's always Christmas's charity time. So let's talk about 90210.
Yes, let's talk about 90210. So, they were trying to
We watched this yesterday, by the way. Just for reference, everyone. Yesterday.
Okay. I'm trying to remember something from before this episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, we'll be here for a while, guys.
Fuck off. They had been trying to move the rave into another place, like I think it was
a carpet store.
Yeah, some kind of
carpet store next door to the Peach Pit, which we've been in there once, but before this rave stuff, why is there? It looks like from the outside, it looks like the Peach Pit's on a corner of a busy street. Why is there a carpet store next to the diner? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. But so they're trying to move it there, but they can't move it there yet. And Steve doesn't want to miss a weekend, so
I guess he wants to. He's doing a private party kind of thing.
It's weird. It's very weird. Maybe Steve should go into party planning.
I don't know.
Although after this episode, I don't know.
Well, this is kind of Griffin's fault, right?
Is it?
He's the one that found this house.
Okay. And didn't check the electrical.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, I think Steve even criticized him for that at some point.
He does, yeah.
And so they're trying to stop this private party in a house.
Would you pay $10 to go to a party? Like just a party in a house? I mean, I guess he does say that $10 buys you the food and drink, I think he says.
Yeah.
So I guess, how's he making money?
I don't know. It's a very valid point.
Maybe the first drink's free, or the first drink comes with your $10 cover
First
charge.
one's free, kids.
And then the other drinks are more money or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but they are trying to throw this party in a house. It's a big house, but it's kind of a weird premise. And then they have like mood rooms.
Yeah.
Upstairs. Like, maybe it's just a California thing, but I personally have never been to a rave or party or whatever that has mood rooms. Also, what they're calling a rave, I don't know if it's really a rave.
No, so, I mean, I don't see any ecstasy. I don't see any black lights. I don't see any pacifiers.
Nobody's fucking on couches.
Nope. Well, actually, that does kind of happen. We don't get to see it, but it does kind of happen.
It does?
It does, yeah. But it's not because of ecstasy.
Right.
It's not really a rave in the traditional definition of a rave.
The one that I went to, I don't think we had to pay anything to get in.
No, because the drugs.
And
that's what you're paying for.
I didn't pay for anything the whole night, though.
That's because you're hot, and hot women don't need to pay for things.
We went in, and they had a nitrous tank right at the entrance.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I did a balloon of nitrous, and then we went in, and people were, you know, dancing and sweating and, you know,
Right.
making out and stuff, and it was gross. And then there was a dude who had just gotten out of prison who was selling ecstasy, and he said he'd give me a pill if I just sat on his lap for a few minutes, so I didn't have to pay for it. Yeah. Does that make me a whore?
All you did was sit on his lap
Yeah.
and did nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay, well, I guess not. I don't know.
So,
I
yeah.
think anything makes you a whore that you want to make. That you want to make you a whore.
Okay.
Or you could justify anything and not be a whore.
Sure.
That's my opinion.
I feel like my boyfriend should just automatically be like, of course not. That doesn't make you a whore.
Well, this
Absolutely
was before
not.
we were together, so this was prior to 1994. So.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, what's going on, Carol? What's next?
Okay.
There's
So,
mood rooms. That's what you were talking
yeah,
about.
I was just saying, like, it's a
We
weird...
don't get to see any of the mood rooms.
But Donna's boyfriend wants, like, she wants him to play his guitar.
In the chill room or whatever that is.
Like, he doesn't even want to do it.
No.
And Steve doesn't want him to do it. But she's...
No, it's not that Steve doesn't want him to do it. He doesn't want to do it because Griffin is there. Because Casper Van Dien is still here.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You're not supposed to. He
But-
called Donna a tease and a bitch.
Yeah.
Of course we're not supposed to like him.
Why is Steve even dealing with this asshole?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe
he's a keg brother.
Yeah, they're fraternity brothers. So, and for some reason, what's her face, Brenda 2.0, Valerie has glommed onto this. Like, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hang out and help you any way I can. I just really want to help you." And
Well,
finally,
there's a reason.
he's like, oh, "Why you being so friendly? Why you being so nice?" And she's like, "I want another chance with you." What the fuck, Valerie?
Yeah, I don't. Like I said when we were watching this, you're just all over the place today. By the way, we're just like shotgun.
I've had a very
storylines.
long day. You're lucky I can be coherent at all.
So I don't like what they're doing with her character. And at first she was like, I don't give a fuck about these people. I'll just put on the happy face and all this shit and smoke pot. And, oh, Steve looks like I can get him to buy me shit and stuff. And I'm, barely going to kiss him or whatever. And now all of a sudden she's like, oh, I messed it up with you, Steve. I want to be with you. And it's like, she's just, like I said before, they just turned her in. It's like the Stepford Wives. They just turned her into one of them.
Right.
It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, it's weird. And I mean, she just was with Dylan, and she wanted to be with Dylan more than Steve. Like, it was so obvious.
Yeah, because Dylan was less like the rest of them. Mm-hmm. He was more, and especially now, because he was, he was on drugs and drinking and hated life.
Right. So she doesn't belong with Steve. And why she thinks she does for even a second, I don't know. And
is there anyone in the cast that she belongs with, you think?
Dylan.
You think that they match each other?
Yes.
Okay.
I really do. I feel like if he would stop playing games and being weird, that they would be a good match.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I mean, they're both damaged, and they put up with each other's weird crap.
Yeah, I guess.
Kelly never really. They didn't have anything in common.
No. They
And
were both attractive. That's about it.
Like sex, that's it. And then Brenda, I don't know. I mean, really, she's the one he should have been with, but she's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think of the available women, Valerie is the choice. Although he should probably fuck Donna at some point.
Okay.
After she loses her virginity, though. She shouldn't lose her virginity to him.
Okay. I love you're one of those angels just planning out her life, huh?
I guess.
I think it's time for Donna to lose her virginity. Then she can fuck Dylan.
Right. So, okay. So they are setting up this party. Valerie wants Steve. He doesn't really say one way or another if he's going to take her back or...
Well, he indicates later.
He does? I don't even remember.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. Yep.
Okay, so I guess you'll tell us when the time comes.
Yep.
When they have the party, he has it catered. There's
some Mexican guy cooking burritos and
tacos and
yeah.
It's nice. Like, it seems like it would be...
It is nice.
That would be a nice party. It seemed like. But the power keeps going out because this old house can't handle all the stuff they have plugged in, all the music and the lights and... Yeah,
because the house is wired to take a phonograph and like, an old style radio that was, 10 feet high and wood paneled.
Right.
Which used exactly 2 watts of electricity. Like that's what it's wired for.
And they keep blowing fuses.
It's wired for...
Now, I've never actually had to deal with changing a fuse or anything. Like, it's a physical change. Like, you have to replace it every time it blows, right?
It's actually a mental change. You just have to concentrate hard enough on the... That's why they got distracted by the lesbians at the party, so they couldn't concentrate on the fuses. Yes, it's a physical change, Carol.
And he says he only has a couple left. So.
I understand what you're saying. What you're saying, the difference between a circuit breaker is a series of switches, and the circuit breaker can get tripped, and then you just reset it. But with a fuse box, which is what this is, there are literal circular fuses, glass circular fuses. And yes, they have to be changed out. When they blow, it's like a light bulb going out. They have to be changed out.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So I was expecting there to be a problem where he was just going to run out of fuses and they would just be in the dark and not be able to have a party anymore.
Well, it was a bit more dramatic than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the consequences were much more. Mm-hmm. First of all, though, when this party started, David and Claire, were supposed to be advertising the party, and they put the invitation in the wrong forum online.
They went to a chat group, and they did 20-somethings. That was the second group they put it in, but at first they accidentally put it in the Women Seeking Women group.
Yeah. So
a bunch of lesbians show up, and they're all like, I don't know about this.
Which is silly, because, like you said, their money spends just as well. Like, right, what's the problem?
In his defense, Steve doesn't seem to mind that much.
Yeah. The other guy was looking to get laid, so that's why he minds. That makes sense.
And then Steve and Claire were talking, and she was like, well, at least they're pretty accepting. Think about if it was a bunch of gay guys that showed up. That people would be more pissed off or whatever, less tolerant.
She's right.
And he's like, oh yeah, we went through that last year in my fraternity, so.
I wonder why that is. That, people are so much more accepting of lesbians than they are of gay men.
Because guys fantasize about lesbians.
Okay.
And girls do too, I guess, sometimes.
I guess.
Or some girls do. And only gay guys like other gay guys.
That is true. So, at this party, the lesbians are kind of flirting with Claire, and there's one girl who's becoming friendly with Kelly. Mm-hmm. And she and Kelly go downstairs to the secret bathroom that only Kelly knows about because there's a big line or whatever.
Right. As there always is, a big line for the ladies' bathroom.
Right. So
it's in a movie theater, like a private screening room.
It's pretty cool, this house. It must have belonged to somebody who was in the business, and
I guess.
But it's old.
Yeah, it's from the 30s.
So so they're in this special place, and nobody knows they're there. And
they're in a special place together.
They are. They're getting very friendly.
Kelly and the lesbian. Oh yeah, they're gonna be very bonded after this experience.
And then the circuits don't blow this time.
No.
They catch on fire.
Yeah, the whole circuit box just catches on fire. And then apparently Steve thought that it would be festive to douse the entire house in kerosene before the party, because this house I have never seen anything catch on fire faster than this house does.
It is crazy. Although, maybe it got into the walls.
I don't know. I think the house was made exclusively out of kindling. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It was very fast. And then, people are trampling each other. It's awful. You scream fire in a crowd. It's never good.
Well, yeah, that big guy that's on the football team or whatever, he's just like, fire! Just starts, running. Griffin, knocks some kid over so he can get out of the house.
Yeah, he's such an asshole. And there are people, pushing and shoving down the stairs, and, it's not good.
And Steve's not there because they go into one of the mood rooms that they apparently didn't even know existed, because two kids are throwing water balloons from the window. So he and Valerie go to investigate and kick them out and everything. And she's like, I didn't even know this room was here. And he's like, yeah, I didn't either. And it's like, what? You didn't look through your own house that you were throwing this party in? You evaluated all the rooms for mood rooms. How did you not know this room existed?
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
And so she's like, hey, this room's pretty cozy and everything. And she slips off his white tuxedo jacket because he wants to be Ricardo Montalban, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Welcome to Fantasy Island. But anyway, so she gets her wish, I guess, from Fantasy Island and fulfills his fantasy because they have sex.
Oh. What? How did I miss that?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you were doing when it was happening, but...
Maybe... Wait, were they not talking about it? Because if it was...
No, they sat down at a table and Valerie was like, we now have the sex, Steve. And Steve was like, yes, now is pleasure time. They talked about it.
I'm just thinking that maybe that was when you were rubbing my head and so my eyes were closed. So
it might have been.
No.
It might have been.
So, okay, so Valerie and Steve had sex. That still doesn't mean that they're getting back together.
I didn't say they were.
Well, you said that he made up his mind or whatever. Or indicated.
I said he indicated that he wanted her, I guess, because, yes, they have sex, and then the fire's there. Ray's trying to get people out. Steve opens the door. They're, half dressed. So then they get out, and everyone gets out except for Kelly and the lesbian.
Back it up, though.
Who are stuck in the bathroom.
Ray's trying to be a fucking hero, this whole time.
It's a very juxtaposition between who Donna could have been with, Griffin, shoving people out the door, and Ray trying to rescue people.
And, he was so smart because, Steve and Valerie were almost stuck up there.
Yeah.
And he, got a blanket wet and tossed it to them so they were able to get through the flames.
Right.
I wouldn't have even known to do that, would you?
Yeah. Yeah, Ray and I went to the same fire school.
But yeah, okay. So then there's nobody else stuck in there except Kelly and this girl.
Yeah, Kelly and the girl are in the basement, and they go out the door, but the door handle's hot.
And she's smart enough not to open it.
Luckily, apparently, she took some fire safety class, or she said she was at fire safety camp or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said, or volunteer fire thing, something.
Yeah.
And she was like, take off your sweater. And then Kelly was like, wait a minute, why? Why? Just take off all your clothes. Kelly, it's the right thing to do. No, she says, we got to get our clothes wet and put it under the door. That'll keep the fire at bay or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're huddled in the corner, not knowing what to do. Outside, everyone's out there. Steve's like, oh my God, this is terrible. This house is 1,000% on fire.
Right.
It's just flame everywhere. And the girlfriend of the lesbian that's downstairs is like, no, she's still in there, and she's trying to get in there. And Steve's like, no. He's like, look, the firemen will rescue her. It's okay. Don't worry about her. He doesn't really seem that concerned, right? And they're all like, thank God Kelly got out, because Kelly was supposed to leave. Mm-hmm. But she didn't. And then the lesbian's girlfriend was like, oh yeah, if you're talking about that blonde girl, she didn't leave. She's down there with my girlfriend, and then all of a sudden Steve's like, oh fuck, like now it matters.
Yeah. Oh my God, he was freaking out.
He started crying.
Yeah, I wonder how Valeria.
Maybe the best acting that's on this episode on the show that I've seen.
Yeah, I wonder how Valerie's going to feel about that.
I don't think she'll care.
Really?
Why would she?
Because they just had sex and he's crying about Kelly.
Who's dying in a fire? Like, what the fuck?
It seems like, it really does seem like she's going to die. Like, they have the fire actually eat through the door. The firemen are coming, they're calling out for them and stuff, but the fire is literally coming through the door at this point, and they're just stuck in this bathroom.
They're like, oh my God. And then it goes to credits.
Yeah, that's how it ends. What the fuck?
But she's not going to die.
Yeah, you're probably right, but like she should. The way they shot that, don't you think? Don't you think they should be dead?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, firemen can only do so much.
Right. But they've got water.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll save them.
Yep.
I wonder if Steve is gonna like try for Kelly again now. He already did.
No.
So you think he just loves her like a friend? You think he's crying because he loves her like a friend, or you think he's crying because she's like the love of his fucking life?
Carol, do you think if, like, this, you are being ridiculous. You think if a friend of yours that you happen to used to date was inside a building that was on fire and you're pretty sure they're dying. You're watching the house fire that's killing them. And you would only tear up if you still wanted to be with them.
No, I guess not.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what you're reading into this, but he's upset because he caused this fire. He feels responsible for this fire that's going to kill her.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Just like, oh, Valerie's going to be upset. He wants to fuck her. Like, what the fuck?
And
Speaking of wanting to fuck,
right,
though,
Brandon's not at this party. Brandon has his own little side story going on this week.
I think this is the only other story, really.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about Andrea.
No, Andrea's like there for a little bit, but she's just like in a couple scenes. She's not doing much.
Yeah.
Jim and Cindy aren't doing much. There is a little vignette with what's his name? Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan and Kelly, which we'll talk about, but...
Yeah, okay. Well, okay.
No, I mean, if you want to do that first...
Real quick, because that's quicker. Kelly...
I just kind of thought we would tie it into what's going on with Brandon, because it does kind of tie in with what's going on with Brandon.
Okay, so the phone rings at the Walsh's house, and Kelly answers for some reason.
Hi, it's Kelly, the Walsh's house.
And it is a international person-to-person call.
For Brandon.
For Brandon Walsh.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Because she thinks it's Brenda.
And she says, hey, Brenda. Hey, I got you kicked off the show, Brenda.
And a woman says, this isn't Brenda. Can I speak to Brandon?
Right.
And she looks a little puzzled.
Mm-hmm. She's confoozled.
It's Emily fucking Valentine.
Yeah. Emily fucking Valentine.
I'm so sick of her.
What?
I'm so sick of her.
The punk rock girl?
Yes.
I'm not sick of her.
Because she's no longer punk rock, okay?
She's on one episode every year, essentially. How can you be sick of her?
Because it's like she's toying with Brandon all the time, you know?
She really did trade in the punk rock vibe, though, for a very, very awful bob haircut.
Yeah,
she's got like some kind of page boy haircut going on or something like that. I think that Christine Elise or whatever is a attractive young woman, but I don't like this hair.
Well, I haven't liked her hair since she went brown.
Punk rock.
She should have stayed a blonde.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so she has a layover, she says.
Mm-hmm. A layover.
For 4 hours, and she wants Brandon to come and pick her up at the airport.
She's coming from France. For those of you that don't remember, last Thanksgiving, Brandon blew off his family's Thanksgiving so that he could fuck...
Yeah.
not Valerie, so he could fuck Emily for a weekend.
Right.
Before she went to France to be part of some marine biologist program because there is no marine life in the Pacific Ocean.
So he picks her up and they go have dinner and everything's fine. They're catching up and then...
What do you think about this?
Oh, okay. What?
I'm sorry, do we have to go through the entire plot before we can talk about what we think about the episode?
I mean, I was going to have an opinion, but go ahead.
You were getting to a point to... What are you talking about?
She says, I love you, Brandon.
You're going too fast.
All right.
Like, what do you think about Brandon saying, "Oh, I will delay going to Steve's party so that I can take Emily out, just the two of us, take her out to dinner, show her around the town." An old friend. Let's say you're Kelly dating Brandon. What do you think of this?
There's no way. I mean, I would be pissed. I would want to come. I would not want him to do it. Like, there's no way that I'd just be, like, cool with it.
Yeah, I don't understand how any of this happens.
Yeah.
And I don't get how Brandon thinks it's okay.
But, I mean, Kelly doesn't seem to indicate that she doesn't want him to do it.
She doesn't like the situation. She's jealous. She mentions that.
Yeah, but she doesn't say don't do it.
No, I guess not. But he says to Andrea, he says, "Oh, man, I thought I was over Emily, but then I heard her voice, and I don't know, you know."
Yeah. And he admits to Andrea that he's still in love with her, I think, doesn't he?
He says that he still has feelings for her. Yeah.
And then at dinner, she says, I love you, Brandon. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I have a girlfriend now.
Right.
Which should have been the end of it.
And she says to him, you know, I don't have a 4-hour layover. The symposium or whatever that I'm going to isn't until next week. And maybe she's going to go to Loyola College in San Diego. Mm-hmm. That's what she says. Like, she's going to Loyola to hear somebody speak, and she might be transferring there, which obviously would be much closer than France to him.
Right.
But, you know, it's like, she doesn't know. And when would that happen? Next semester? You know, it seems very tentative. And for her to come in here, I also don't think what she's doing is cool either.
Yeah.
Once she knows he has a girlfriend, which admittedly he doesn't say right up front.
But once he says it, she should back the fuck off. And she does not.
He's like, what did you want me to do? You know, you never called, you never wrote. She was like, well, I just thought it'd be easier to forget. I didn't want to hear about you moving on and all that shit. He's like, I just gave up on us when you didn't say anything.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
But instead of backing off like they're supposed to, he takes her to her fucking hotel.
To her fucking hotel, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what she wants.
And then, instead of leaving, he kisses her. He should leave. I'm mad about it.
He tries to leave, and she's like, he says, like, you know, I don't, she's like, why do you want to go or whatever? He's like, I don't want to go. And she's like, I don't want you to go. And then that's when they kiss.
Terrible fucking people.
Mm-hmm. While
Kelly's burning to death, yeah. I'm sure that's going to come up. Like, I'm sure that, like, their relationship is over now. Like,
don't you think that, like, Brandon's reaction is going to be, fuck, if only she would have died in the house fire.
Oh my God, no.
Then I wouldn't have to deal with the consequences of my misdeeds.
That's awful. But earlier, too, Kelly went to see Dylan in rehab.
Mm-hmm. Between her finding out about Emily and then almost dying in a house fire.
Yeah.
She goes to see Dylan in rehab, and Dylan gets his one scene.
And they're, like, holding hands and stuff.
It's very, like, it's like they're a couple. It's so weird.
And they're talking like they're a couple. They're talking about, like, the old times and stuff. So, I mean, there's a vibe there, too, just like there is with Brandon and Emily. Just they don't fucking make out like Brandon and Emily.
Right.
Do you think that he's going to sleep with her?
Emily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
You said that you asked me if I thought he was going to cheat while we were watching the episode, and I said no.
Mm-hmm.
But then after seeing what happens, yeah, I do. I think he's going to cheat.
That's awful.
None of these people can fucking stay faithful to anyone.
No.
It's ridiculous.
And, like, he's like the Boy Scout. Like, you wouldn't expect him to cheat.
You would think he'd be the one that wouldn't do it, but apparently Brenda's the only one that's never going to cheat because she's off the show now.
Wait, didn't she cheat? She did cheat.
On who?
Dylan. With Marco or whatever his name was.
No, she did. Oh.
Yes, she did. When she was in France, well, he was cheating with Kelly.
Dean Cain?
Yeah. He was cheating on her. She was also cheating on him.
Kind of. Did they kiss even, though?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They did.
They didn't sleep together, I know that.
No, but they kissed.
All right. Oh, whatever.
So, that's where we're at. Kelly is burning to death, and Brandon is probably having sex with Emily.
Brandon's morals are burning to death.
And Steve is crying on the front lawn.
Yep. And Valerie's apparently pissed. Steve's crying. She's like, what the fuck? What are you crying over her for? Hold it in like a man.
Well, you know, I mean, that would fit her original bitch personality.
I don't think she was a bitch. I think she was like, you know, fuck these people.
Yeah.
She was interesting. Now she's nothing.
Wow.
Anyway, that's the episode.
So go ahead and write us. LateFee1994 at AOL.com.
Yep.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yeah.
And tell your friends.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.